There is a place where the lost embers go as their light begins to fade. Ember ran because standing still made them feel helpless. The wall glistened. Ember felt so afraid and alone that it was a relief to find someone to talk to. Ember froze, almost too frightened to look up when they noticed a small satchel. The satchel felt heavy. Ember looked inside. The statue shone brightly in the light. The painting showed embers on a sacred journey. There was a symbol on the floor. There was a round space where something used to fit. To Ember's delight, the golden statue slid perfectly into place. Ember left, feeling sorry for the stranger now alone in the dark. Their way opened into a dark forest. Ember could feel fear taking over. They'd washed up alone, somewhere very unfamiliar. Reply was silence. The path was blocked. As Ember approached, the flame seemed to call out. The flame lingered ahead. Was it trying to escape? Or leading the way? The campfire flickered into life. The ghost spoke. Hope has returned to a forlorn. I will warm them until they choose to move on. Ember looked to the ghost for answers. This is a place between to travel through as your light fades, but none have passed on in a long time. The Forest King now holds us here, and those who linger will turn forlorn. Again that word, forlorn. The forlorn are those who lost their way along the path. If you find them, send them to me and I will guide them. I am just a guide along the way to fan the flame. So many lost embers have I seen, more than I could help. Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind. There are others lost along their journey. Find them and I will guide them. Step backwards, little Ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn. Barely visible through the murky water was the shadow of something hiding. And on a small pier with barely a sound, a lonely fisherman sat. The Ember was curious. But I'm headed for the crossroads. It's not far, I think. I've heard there's a nest there. A safe place. The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly. The traveler said, "You sailed in here. Where's your friend? You need a boat. Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back." The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow. Only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It sitting out there every day by the pond. Ember couldn't hold on. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder. For a brief moment, the fisherman struggled to speak. He looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. "There's a frog in that pond. Saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of a sort. Spent every day side by side. So much better at fishing. Catches them before I can bait them. It makes me feel useless some days." The fisherman sighed. "I've wasted so much time feeling like this." The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their rod, at Ember. "Well, listen to me here rambling. It helps though, telling someone. Thank you, Ember. If you need help catching anything, you just ask." If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. Its eyes were fixed on Ember, but it seemed, was this the frog that the fisherman spoke of? Ember could hardly ignore the rumbling from the frog's belly. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. The door was sealed shut. The old gate was locked. The crow held its shining trophy tight. The stranger whispered, "I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice." The worm looked helpless, with no way to. As Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp. Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me. The cave entrance was overgrown with dry brambles. The key was nestled between the reeds, but it was just out of reach. It didn't seem like that would really help. The key was nestled between the, but it was just out of reach. The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice. The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep? ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." The path ahead lies behind that door. Do you wish that? Know that if you return, you will always be welcome. Little one, your journey ahead, the path to leave this place. I will guide others to follow after you clear the way. There are others like me who can help. You will always be welcome here in the forest.